All right, let's move on to Series 3, folks. We are going to start off with the absolutely perfect Hasbro figure. Mr. Perfect. Kurt Hennig right here. Mr. Perfect, this is one of his two figures. This is absolute, like I said, what more can you say but absolutely perfect. This figure is absolutely incredible and perfect in every way, shape, or form. He does the perfect plex, which is pretty much a move. You basically move his arm, but my action for this figure does not work at all. But you move it and he like turns around and whatnot, and you can do like a perfect, they call it perfect plex. This figure is really great because it looks just like him and it has like the same exact pose and everything that he used to do. So Hasbro did a nice job with this one. Yeah, great figure. Pretty underappreciated figure too. All right, next up we got the one and only Sergeant Slaughter. The man who turned heel and completely went against his country. But he turned back, and apparently this is when he was face. I guess this came out when he was a face. I'm not sure. But this looks like the face Sergeant, the baby face Sergeant Slaughter figure. So he does the Sergeant salute, like, attention all you maggots. And then he just throw his arms down. It's kind of like its own slam, but figure goes up and then his arms go down. This is a pretty uncommon figure. I haven't seen it around too much, but reminds me of the G.I. Joe figures because he was associated with them and whatnot. Yeah, pretty great figure. I like the mold. He looks like he's just about to say, "Attend, hot, all you maggots," like that. And demand orders like the commanding officer he is. So that's Sergeant Slaughter. Very nice looking figure. All right, next up we got the young Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado. A great figure we got here. It looks just like Kerry. And Kerry does the Texas Twister. It's unfortunate what happened to him and the Von Erich family. I'm not going to go into it too much, but God, that's a lot of bad luck there, guys. It's terrible. May he rest in peace. So, Tornado, you just turn him around. And, yeah, he could spin around. It's called the Texas Twister. Yeah, the Texas Tornado. He had, like, an Intercontinental belt reign when he first came in. But then, like, everything started going down for the Tornado. He didn't appear too much after. Well, he did appear, but, like, he wasn't as big of a draw as he was when he had during that SummerSlam in 1990. And he just went downhill from there. The only belt he's ever held was the IC belt against Mr. Perfect. So, yeah, a lot of history with this figure. All right, next up, another figure I don't have too much to say about, Greg the Hammer Valentine. It is Greg the Hammer Valentine, all right. Greg, this is when he was a veteran, utility veteran, Greg the Hammer Valentine, when he was his forgettable babyface run. But he wasn't too forgettable. They made a figure of him, of the Hammer himself. So he's got the I think they call it the Hammer Slammer. He does, where you just move this behind and then wham. That's a little weak. Let's see if we can get him to do the Hammer Slammer. Nah, my one hand does not work good with these actions, guys. But then Greg left the company soon, so this figure, he wasn't around for too long as a babyface. It's pretty forgettable. Most people remember him as a heel, not a babyface. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is not a really memorable figure. But it looks good. It's a pretty cheap figure, but it looks like him enough. All right, next up we got the one and only Birdman, Coco Beware, with his bird Frankie. And Coco does the Birdman bounce, as they call it. He does the Birdman bounce. This is it's actually pretty hard to find the accessory for this one. Coco wasn't used too much in the WWF but he's a likable enough personality for the fans. He was mostly a jobber status, so I guess you can call this like a jobber figure, mostly. You know, I hate to say it because Coco is such a nice name in the wrestling business, but, you know, he wasn't used too good in the WWF. They could have used him better, but you gotta love the Frankie accessory, and this figure is just spot on. It looks so nice. It looks better than what his career turned out to be, let's just say. Yeah, great figure. Wish they would have used Coco more in the pay-per-views and whatnot. They made him look pretty weak back then. All right, here we go. This is what I was waiting for right here. Now, my favorite figures of Series 3 is the natural disasters. Earthquake and Typhoon. I mean, what else is there to say? These two are absolutely incredible figures. You know, their likeness is spot on here. Minus that Earthquake isn't wearing his natural disasters look. These figures' likeness is spot on. They look just like Earthquake and Typhoon. And they both do, they have like the same kind of movesets. Their legs bend. They can do he could pretty much do the aftershock. The move he does is the aftershock where you like put his legs and he just, you know, destroys him. Destroys his opponents. That's Earthquake's figure. I guess they must have came out with Earthquake before they made Typhoon, because Typhoon was originally supposed to be Tugboat. Some of you may know, but they decided to go with Typhoon because he turned heel as the Natural Disasters and turned on his buddy Hulks and the Hulkster, his buddy. And Earthquake does the tidal wave. I mean, Typhoon does the tidal wave, and his legs bend as well. Really great figures. These are two amazing figures. I got his writing on. The Typhoon looks mint. He looks very, very mint. Not even a scratch on him. The Earthquake looks like he was played with a bit. Yeah. His head's kind of moves a bit. All right, but that is, this one was pretty short. Those are all my Series 3 figures, guys. Oops. Fell right there. Those are all my Series 3 figures. Here they are. I don't have too much for Series 3, I realize. But this is the bunch I got. And let's move on to Series 4.